Everyone who has millions started from zero, from this to that, from nothing to everything. As a divine healer, let me show you the blueprint to heal your deepest wounds, step into your destiny, and become the happiest person you know. My name is Steph Mahony, and welcome to your Million Dollar Life podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Million Dollar Life podcast. I'm your host, Steph Mahony, a healer, divine channel, speaker, and the founder of your Million Dollar Life, a life that has nothing to do with money and everything to do with feeling like $1 million. It is the beauty that shines from within you when you're healed, transformed, and step into your higher purpose. Your $1 million life is your best life, and this podcast is the roadmap of how to get you there. Today, we're going to be diving in to help you get unstuck by transforming the fog and confusion into clarity and certainty. With me today is the person who will help create the beautiful roadmap of how to get there. My guest today is Clara Capano, who is an international speaker, best-selling author, and has 20 years experience helping women to transform the fog of confusion into certainty so they can step into the fullness of their destiny and help to create harmony between the juggle of leadership and their personal lives. Clara is also the host of two amazing TV shows called Women Women Their Way and Be Productive. Clara, welcome to the show.
Steph, thank you so much. And, I love everything you're doing. And I really want to just even call out one of the things you said about having $1 million life doesn't mean that you're making $1 million. It is about living your best life. And, when you feel like $1 million, that is when you're going to open yourself up to the universe to be able to receive it. So
100%.
thank you for sharing these messages and
My
doing
pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much for that too. It really is the feeling that attracts everything into our life.
Yeah.
So, Clara, I absolutely love your messages. We had the opportunity to meet at an incredible international conference a few months ago, and you had such amazing clarity to help people to step into their higher purpose. And as you know, this is exactly what I'm being called to do, to help women heal, transform, and step into their purpose. But what I've learned in my path is that many times people get stuck. And the natural thing subconsciously is that when we're scared, when we don't know what to do, we say no and we do nothing. And then we stay in paralysis and we continue in the circle of like, oh my gosh, I hate this, but I don't know what to do. And we continue this cycle. So you being an expert in this field is amazing because I hope that you can offer my community some valuable tips of how they can shift their mindset so they can actually get unstuck and get to where they need to go.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it is all about clarity. And I think my parents must have known what I was destined for when they named me Clara, because that's what
Yes.
I do is I bring clarity to people, and I've created my method. I call it the clarity factor. And, you really just hit on something that is such a huge, important thing for us to understand is that the opposite of clarity is confusion. And when we are confused, we are stuck. That is when we don't take action and go forward. So clarity is what we use to unlock ourselves so we can take action and start moving forward. And what I've done with the clarity factor is gone into 7 different areas that we need to find clarity in, so that this is not just for yourself. This is also for your organization. So I work with a lot of organizational leaders to help them bring clarity into their businesses so they can take their business to the next level. So it's really can work in both your business and your life. And, those 7 steps again will really get you not only fired up on the inside, but it's going to allow you to go into each and every day, with that clear path of knowing what you need to do and, more importantly, why you're doing it.
I absolutely love it. It's kind of like an internal compass from what this seems like to guide you through your day on a moment by moment basis, right?
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
why don't we dive in, Clara? Help us understand. For those listening in, grab your notebooks and let's write this down.
Yeah. So again, it's based upon my name. So it's the clarity method or the clarity factor. And the first one is starting off with the letter C. This is all about designing your clarity of vision. Now, I know we throw that around mission statements. What are your values? They're more than just words. You mentioned this. It is your compass. When you are clear on your vision, you know exactly why it is you are called to show up. And when you have that purpose, that is what fuels the passion. So you've got to know this is the start of everything, because if you don't know your vision, if you're confused as to what it is you're called to do, how are you going to take action and go any further? So you've really got to go clear. So that's one of the first things that I work with people on is, again, what is their real vision? What is their purpose, their passion? What is driving them? And how do we kind of get that mindset and create the foundation of that? Then we go into the L, which is all about leveraging time. You know, time is the one commodity that everybody wants more of, and we cannot manufacture time. We need to start thinking of not how we are spending our time, but how are we investing our time in both our lives and our businesses. So going through what are the areas that we really want to be looking at. If I'm going to be working 40 hours a week, am I investing those in the right areas with the right people to get the right results? So really looking at how we can not create more time, but open up space in the time that we have so that we are using and investing our time in its highest and best use. Then what we do is we tie this with the first A, which is all about taking action. Too many of us are doing too much. And we're also focused on, oh, I've got to start doing this. I've got to start doing that. When reality is sometimes we need to stop doing some things so we can actually start doing the right things. So once we know our vision, once we have the strategies and know the time that we have, then we can start allocating what are the core areas, the foundations, the vital few activities that we need to do on a consistent basis. So we start to get clear. It's not about what we can do, it's about what we should be doing. So we have to get the clarity around what we should be doing. Then, after we identify the action, we also have to understand that as much as we need to act, we also need rest and recovery, because I cannot do what I need to do when I am depleted. So I love to think of it as what brings you joy. Because taking rest and recovery is more than just going for a massage, which is perfectly fine. I just did that yesterday. It was wonderful. You know, it's whatever brings you joy, whatever lights you up. And again, reflecting on these moments so that you can really truly give the best of what you are and the best of what you have to everybody around you. So we talk about that and we really go deep, because your definition of joy is going to be different than mine. So we want to make sure that we're building in what brings us joy. Then what we want to do is go to the second A, which is all about articulating your value. There is something out there and it's called the economic law. The economic law states that money flows to value. So what we want to do is not focus on chasing the money. What we want to do is focus on creating value, because the more that we deliver value, the money will always follow. So we want to start understanding what is the value that you bring, because we are all valuable. We all bring something different and unique. And the biggest thing that we have, the best tool that we have is ourselves, our organization, what it is we do. And when you get clear on who it is you're going to serve, then we can start really identifying how are we articulating the value, because that is what people are really looking for, is how are we going to help solve their pain, help them get to their end result.
Exactly. And you know what? If I can just jump in there, it's one of
Yeah.
these things I always say that we have to stop chasing and begin attracting. And I feel like this
Mhm.
is what you're talking about here. Stop chasing money,
Mhm.
opportunities, people, situations.
Right.
Like when you can like stand in your own power and create and cultivate your 2.0 best self, an
Mhm.
amazing opportunity, amazing proposition, something that can add value. When you build it, they will come.
It
Just
is,
like the
and
movies,
that is
right?
such it's really challenging. It's very easy said. The reality is so many of us, especially as entrepreneurs, we want to help everybody. We want to do it all. And it's really scary at times to build that niche or to say, I really want to focus in this area, because we don't want to alienate people. But the problem is if you are not clear, again, think about what you're then putting out into the world. If we're going to attract, we've got to be very clear about what we want to attract. Not that we can't serve on the peripheral, but if we are confused, the universe, if I just sit down today and say, I want to work with companies, the universe is going to be like, well, I don't really know what company you want. Whereas if I am very dialed in and specific on this is the type of company, whether it's in pharmaceutical or sales or it doesn't matter, but you've got to tell the universe what it is that you want.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Can I even add to this? The universe does not do flaky. So
No.
many people are
Oh my
flaky.
goodness.
They'll say yes, but they have no intention of following through. They'll say
Mhm.
no, but like everything's like this hidden motive, or
Exactly.
it's like maybe. And if we don't stand in our power, like it's
Mhm.
okay to say yes, it's okay to say no, but we have to follow through with this because
Mhm.
whatever you say no to is a yes somewhere else. Whatever you
Exactly.
say yes to, if your intentions aren't pure and upright, the universe sees this like wishy-washy thing and it does not attract what you want. You're going to continue to receive more wishy-washy outcomes, right?
Absolutely. And that's why, again, gaining clarity is so powerful because you have to be clear on what it is you want in order to be able to receive it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. One thing I always say is, who are you and where are you going? And
Mm-hmm.
if you can nail this down, you have your whole compass laid out for you.
Exactly.
And you have, like, you are your I am, right? If your I
Mhm.
am is flaky or unsure or full of doubt, that is
Absolutely.
like literally the energy you continue to attract. And no wonder we're stuck. We have always experienced this in different
Mhm.
areas, but like that's what keeps us stuck. So
Right.
I love
Exactly.
that for sure.
Yeah, fantastic. I think we left off on T. So
Mm,
T is all about tracking and measuring because, like you said, we're putting out there and we're getting back things and we are receiving things.
mhm.
Sometimes it's the right things, sometimes it's the wrong things. We all know that just because we have an idea that looks great on paper doesn't mean it's going to work the way that we want it to work. So we
Mhm.
have to constantly be tracking and measuring what is working, what is not working. If it's working, how can we amplify it? How can we adapt it, adjust it so that it's going to work even better? And if things are not working, why? Is it time to change? Do we need a new system? Because as much as we need clarity, we also have to understand that's going to change. You are going to change. So this is something you want to
Mm,
check in with because the clarity that I brought when I was 20 is different than the clarity that I'm bringing now at the age of 52. And
mm,
that's okay. I just
yeah.
mentioned I'm, redoing a lot of my systems. I'm redoing my website because I'm evolving and that's part of
Yeah.
it too. But if you aren't tracking and measuring, if you're not resting and reflecting, you're not going to make the needed pivots that you need to make.
Yes. I have this saying, it says refinement or yeah, refinement brings you into alignment.
Oh, I
So
love that.
you have a list, your check mark
Mhm.
list. And the more you look at this list, it could change. And the things that you thought were so important may actually not be. You're going to erase it and put something else there. And we may feel like a failure because I think we naturally do that. Like, oh, shoot, I should have done. But I think that's amazing because you are gaining that inner clarity, a heightened perspective
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
actually I thought that this was really important, but this would bring me more peace or excitement
Mhm.
or more joy at this moment. So I'm
Absolutely.
going to choose this, which is
Yeah,
amazing.
it's so true. And then the last one is the why, which stands for yes, it's time to celebrate. Many times we don't celebrate the wins. We get to the end of the day and it's, oh, I didn't get this done. I didn't get that done. Or we devalue it. We say, you know what? I got this great opportunity, but I didn't get this one or I didn't get that one. We devalue. Let's start to celebrate. Let's start to celebrate the big goals as well as the small
Mhm.
wins in between, because in each day there is beauty. And we want to make
Yes.
sure that we're doing that. So I love to sit down. Part of my week is I do a weekly business strategy session for myself. And part of it is the review of the prior week. And I go through what were the things I accomplished? What were the wins? Because I want to make sure I'm doing
Mhm.
that. At the end of the day, I really believe in practicing gratitude. I believe it gets our
Absolutely.
mindset. And again, it opens us up. So what I do is I call it bookending my days with gratitude. I start my day off before I even get out of bed. What am I grateful for today? And at the
Oh,
end of the
love
day, one of the last things that I do is what am I grateful for that happened today? What are 3 great things that happened today? Because I want to
Yeah,
make sure that I am opening my mind and closing my mind each day, being grateful for the things that I have and for the things that have happened. Because I don't want to
absolutely.
focus on the negative. I want to focus on the abundance.
And I don't know if you've heard the Neville Goddard lullaby,
Mm-mm.
where as you're falling asleep and you're entering into that alpha state of your subconscious mind, it's that energy that you take with you in your dream state that actually circulates within you as you're sleeping and kind of sets you into your next day. So, with this lullaby, it's being intentional with clarity of focusing on what you do want in the energy as if it's already there. And that's from this place of gratitude. And I call it the 5 finger gratitude. I'll just like count my fingertips, 5 things that made me really happy that
Mhm.
day. And I just go to sleep and I'm just like,
I know.
thank you so much. And as you're kind of like falling asleep, you carry that place of gratitude, that energy with you. And it kind of sets you up for that next day feeling happiness, full, like ready to
Mhm.
go. And it's
Right.
okay that we're not like this all the time. And I really, everyone
Oh,
sees me as super positive, and I am, but like I have bad days too. We all do,
we
right?
all do.
We
It
all
just
do.
it just puts you in check. Some days it's, I'm grateful for fingernails because I can scratch and itch if I have an itch, or I'm grateful for
Exactly.
clean water or, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be these big things. I mean, it's always great to go to our families and our health, but some days it's the little things that we just have to remember. And I think it just also grounds us. And then from a scientific perspective, what we
Mhm.
know is that our brain cannot hold 2 conflicting thoughts at a time. So we cannot be in positivity and negativity. So if you're someone out there who needs more of a scientific understanding before you buy into things, science has
Mhm.
proven that gratitude works. So whenever you're going through your day, if you notice your energy is waning, if you get off the phone and it was a difficult conversation, just take a moment and just get
Yeah.
yourself back into those five fingers, the gratitude, and again,
Yeah.
shock your system back into the positivity.
Yes. And I do this a lot in my own life where I always have this internal mantra of, I got this. I got this. Somebody will throw me down, or I'll have no idea, or I pick a microphone up for the first time. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I just commit to? I have to call somebody. And it's just this internal mantra, like, I got this, I got this, I got this. And it's just like whatever that inner voice is like what's going to push you forward. And if your inner voice is filled with positivity and gratitude, it will give you that fuel to keep going forward. If it's the opposite, which is like doubt, uncertainty, that's
Mhm.
what is the handcuff, right? That prevents us from taking that next baby jump forward.
Exactly. And again, it comes back to clarity. Again, being clear on the messages, being clear on believing it for yourself. We get what we expect. So let's be very
Mhm.
clear on what it is we want to expect because that's what we're bringing back in.
So, Clara, if it's okay, I was wondering, I always love to share within my community. It's not about the outcome, like the final
Mhm.
stage of perfection. We always look for perfection, even though we say we don't. I think society always looks for this place. But it's really this place of growth and transformation that people really could understand. Is there ever a time in your own personal life that you were stuck or really confused and where you had to make a hard decision
Mhm.
and you're able to get from this place to that place using this method? Like, is that something that you'd be able to share with us?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm just going to say that there have been many times where I have been stuck and confused, which is sort of how this whole method was created. I
Yeah.
spent many years of my life in a career that was very lucrative and I became
Mhm.
very successful, yet it never filled my heart space. And it was always this battle because I just didn't feel like I had purpose. I will say the biggest time has been very recently. I am moving into a new chapter of my life as an empty nester. My son is now 18. He is out of the house. I just made a big move from the Denver, Colorado area to Scottsdale, Arizona. So I've had a lot of shakeup
Well,
and it's been great. I've really enjoyed it. Part of it is I was feeling stagnant. I was feeling stuck. I also needed a purpose. I needed a new direction because it wasn't about putting food on the table anymore. It wasn't about getting my child dressed and out to school. It was, oh, this is really all about me time. Well, it's great to say. It's
Yeah.
also very weird because you're kind of like, I don't have a purpose anymore. So what I did is I went back through my model and again, okay, what is my vision? So, my vision has always been to impact and motivate it, but I needed something bigger than that. So one of the foundations that I work with, it's called No More, and it's a foundation that is for the fight against human trafficking. So I am one of their speakers and their ambassadors that goes around bringing awareness. And when I was going through one of my reflections, I was thinking about, do I want to go back to school? And it came to me this whole vision of building a recovery house for survivors of human trafficking. And that's my new drive, is to get this together and start raising money. So with my books, with my talks, everything that I do, a percentage of everything that I make is going to go back into this as I continue to raise funds. And it'll be something similar to kind of like a sober living house for somebody that's gone through addiction. So it won't be the emergency housing for somebody that needs something today. It's going to be a place of healing. So we will have rooms where people can sort of go from one stage to the next, because as they come out of the healing and the recovery homes, they're still not necessarily ready to go out there and be alone. So it's going to have some rooms, and it's going to have a space for workshops where I can speak, where I can bring other people in to guide them through mindset work, through career building. I'll bring in chefs to teach them how to cook, and we can bring in community items. So it's just going to be this beautiful place of healing, recovery, and helping them build trust, and also having them learn to love again, to love themselves, to be open and get their own clarity. So that is now my new purpose. So I did that by again going through it because it was the same thing in this little area. That's my vision. So what are the actions I need to take? What kind of time commitment do I have each week? And then what are going to be the high producing activities for that? Doing the reflection along with it. And so all of these things I have to put together for this aspect. So yeah,
That is amazing.
I'm
That
very
is
excited about
amazing.
it.
And don't you find that like our bigger purpose is always something outside of us? You
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
I
And it's
mean,
wonderful
for
because I
this,
could use my skill sets as a speaker to do these
yeah,
things, so it's leveraging
absolutely.
who I am and what I already have to
Mhm.
do something on a more global and broader scale. And that's what I think I love about it, is I think sometimes we don't look inside ourselves of the gifts that we have, how they can help others.
100%. That is amazing. Thank you so much. So, if somebody's interested in working with you, learning more about your models, or even perhaps wanting to contribute to this new mission that you have, how can they be in touch with you?
I love it. So, on a professional standpoint, I mean, you can reach me on my website, which is just claracapano.com. That's the best way to reach out to me for anything. Again, I
Mhm.
am a speaker and corporate trainer, so I do come into organizations and work with leadership as well as their sales teams to help them in the areas of leadership, productivity, and mindset. I also
Mhm.
do have some one on one programs where I can work with people from my membership group all the way up to one on one, a year long one on one program where we dive deep into developing their own clarity factor and own clarity model. And then certainly if they want to find out more about the foundation and how we can work together with that, they can reach out to me there. And I just encourage everyone, we all need a little clarity. And I'm here to be a resource first and foremost. So if there's anyone that's watching this that just needs a little help, I'm not here
Mhm.
to sell anybody anything. Again, I'm here to deliver value and be a resource. So, you know what? Book a clarity call with me. It's 15 minutes, there's no charge. I'm not going to sell you anything. I just want to make sure that I'm helping people get the support, the direction, and the clarity they need. So, I just want to be a resource. So, at a bare minimum, book a call and let's just talk.
That's absolutely amazing. And what I can do is include all of your contact information on this podcast stream so everyone will be able to easily connect with you.
Love it. That'd be great.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Clara. It's just been such an absolute pleasure to have you. For those watching and are inspired, I encourage you to like, subscribe, share with a friend so that we together can create more clarity on a group consciousness level. And from my heart to yours, thank you and have the best day. Take care.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast. If you are ready to heal your deepest wounds and manifest your greatest life, I welcome you to explore the blueprint to your $1 million life, a divinely channeled program that is creating miracles for people all over the world. Visit www.stephmahony.com.